What's up, you guys? We are back, you all, with another video. And today we are going to be talking about the text that Garrison sent to TLC before his passing. And the text basically said it was the effects of that, I want to hate you guys for showing the good times, but I can't because I miss those times, basically. And I think it just goes to show that he definitely was struggling. I think with the family dynamic and how bad it had gotten.
And he missed the good times.
He missed the good times. He missed it being a family. And that's always a hard thing because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people blaming themselves. Not that,
And that's what we liked about it. We liked the family structure. I think that's what drew people in to watching this show.
I feel like
that's what drew us in to watching the show.
I was very interested in the whole polygamy thing. Because I always thought it was about
some crazy
some blasphemy.
But when we saw it, I was like, oh, okay, it seems to be working. It seems to be healthy. Yeah, there were some little things, but I just looked at it as family stuff. But I think all in all, he's happy that all the stories are being told. Like even the ones that made him sad in terms of he didn't have that again now.
Which I think is very sad. I feel like he definitely struggled with that. But I really do think the Brown family, I feel like why we even like the Brown family to begin with is that they're just like any other family. Yes, they're polygamous, but who of us, there's usually, not all the time, but sometimes there's a parent that really just is not that great a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the brightest peach in the peach basket. You know what I'm saying? He struggles with all his kids. He has a tendency not to do right. Yeah, I'm talking about
Cody in the peach basket, or is he something else?
Maybe he's an apple in the peach basket, trying to blend it with the peach.
Sweet.
Well, anyway,
if Cody was a fruit, what fruit will he be?
Banana.
No, banana is sweet and I like banana.
I hate banana.
Oh yeah, that makes you throw up.
Yeah, I'm allergic.
Anyway, that's an interesting question. If Cody was a fruit,
what fruit would he be? Okay, anyway,
he'll back be the outside of a soursop. It's kind of prickly. It has those little thorns, but inside is so good. The soursop is so good.
We all have a prickly family member. I feel like we have in our family, you know what I'm saying? We always have a good amount of siblings. Sometimes we might get along, sometimes we don't get along, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We have the loving, nurturing parent, whether it could be the mother or the father, whatever the case may be. But it's about family dynamics, which is why I feel like it was so interesting to kind of see this family, see how they work together and stuff. That's why I was drawn to the family. It was very sad to see it be torn apart though, because I felt like Cody really could have just made amends. It was so easy. Like Christine said, just call your kids.
That's it.
Just call your kids. And I feel like Garrison, he misses those times. And I feel like it's hard. I don't know, maybe truly has an easier time with it because Cody has, from the beginning, he has not been that super present. So you're used to it.
Yeah, he really wasn't. Even
but it's
Hunter
hard.
was kind of like taking on the role of holding her because he was so much holding Saul. Remember?
Like he ain't even having legs, honey. Like
he was holding him until he was 5 years old.
Yeah. So I feel like it's hard when you have something so good and then it's snatched away from you. It's a lot harder to deal with it versus you knowing like this is something that I've always dealt with.
It's something, I wouldn't say so good, right?
Well, maybe for him it was so good. It was better. A
relationship. He just misses that relationship. And even when he went to Robin to say, look, like you gotta give up our father sometime. Like he has other families. It's not just your family he has. You got Christine's family with her kids. You got Mary's family with her child. You got Janelle's family with us. And we need to have some time with him. You can't hug him 5 days out of the week.
I'm sorry. I don't want to.
I shouldn't go there right now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I know he went to Robin, but I also want to say these. I know I might get some flack.
But where else was he going to go?
Well, it's not even about that, because I know I might get some flack for this, y'all. But let's let's be honest, okay?
Okay.
I do feel if a man want to be somewhere, he gonna make sure he there.
He's gonna be there anyway.
He's gonna be there. Or somebody who really
So he
wants
wasn't
to be there.
going to do anything anyhow. But Garrison did not know that. He thought Robin is still like mother figure.
Well, he was
if I
giving-
can go and talk to her, maybe she will understand. He did not know that she was gonna take that, manipulate it, start crying, and the kids came to me and they're accusing me of stuff and I don't know what to do. Like today, I really just need you. We really need you here because I don't know what to do. He didn't know that was what was going to happen. And that's what happened. And then Cody really made it into a big thing. Like, how dare you talk to my pride? But that's when he really didn't want to be there anyway.
How dare you
so
talk
now
to
he
my?
used that.
How dare you talk
stay
to
away.
my diesel jeans model?
Yeah. Yes. How dare you do that? And then he used that to stay away.
Yeah.
He used that to stay away
I think
from her.
Cody had gotten to a point where he was just fed up being the polygamist. Like he really got tired
Yeah,
of the
he did.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
He didn't
But
want
he
it no
said-
more.
but
He
he
wanted
said
something
so.
simple.
He said so. Remember when he
And
was
he
sitting
definitely
down?
had an excuse when people weren't, I guess, in his head, being nice.
But remember when this man sat down? It wasn't too long after he had coerced these women
To move the
from-
Flagstaff. They
Right.
are an obstacle in the life I want to live. I said,
Remember when he
what?
sat down? He was sitting at the head of the table.
Real calm.
They were in some kind of wine place. Well, it looked like some kind of cellar
Oh, yeah,
place.
yeah, I remember, yeah.
Christine was all blotchy. I just remember
Looking
Christine
stressed.
feeling so blotchy, her hair looking very stringy, and she just looked exhausted.
Like the world was on her shoulders.
And
It's just a spider.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and then he made this comment that he had been talking to Logan, and he's
Can
trying
you
to
imagine as the
figure
mother
out.
finding out your crazy husband has to
Oh,
talk
one
to
of
your
your
eldest
child.
son to talk about how he don't want to be in the faith that you grew him up with? That's like a
was
mother's
some-
worst nightmare.
That was a craziness, and Janelle is just looking at him confused. Mary is looking at him very confused, like, wait, what are you saying? And this guy was just talking, like he wasn't. And Robbie was the only one who did not seem surprised. It was as if she had heard this before,
Janelle
so
wasn't
he
confused. She
hadn't
just
wanted
started to
be
lose.
there.
She just continued to lose respect. Every
Yeah.
time he did something, the way she would look at him with a slight picture of disgust and confusion.
Yeah.
It was the respect flying out the window and down the highway.
Yeah,
And being
absolutely.
crushed by a semi-automatic truck. That's what's happening
Absolutely,
with
absolutely.
Janelle.
So yeah, you're right, he did not want to be there, and he was going to use any excuse just not to be there. So no matter what those kids said, Cody was not going to be there. And,
Yeah, 'cause I don't
but
want
it
us
is
to just-
sad because even though you're no longer with the wives, and men do this a lot. In fact, there was a guy who talked about this on some podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He says a man is only interested in the children of the woman that he is sleeping with.
Yeah.
Like, in Cody's situation, is the woman that he wants to be with, pretty much. The wife he wants to be with,
Yeah.
right? He's only interested in those children. And the guy did say, he said, a lot of men will give me flack for it because it's like telling some of the secrets
Yeah.
of men. But I remember this guy saying that, and I was like, that's very interesting to know. So
Yeah.
Cody really just showed that.
Yeah.
But it's very, very sad that, it's so sad that he never reached out to Garrison the entire time.
But it's not
And
even
Garrison
about that, but
also
it's
seems
about
so
being in
strong.
tune with your kids. You have to
It's been a
be
while.
connected because you really don't know what your children are struggling with. You have to contact them daily, at least weekly, to make sure that they're still good.
Cody wasn't doing that.
He wasn't doing that.
He
That's
wasn't
the
doing
issue.
that at
'Cause
all.
I don't even
and
think
I don't know
he
how
saw-
long it has been. I don't know how it's long. Because the guy said what? He graduated, he bought a house, he bought a car. All these take time.
Yeah.
And he still had not heard from his dad. So I don't know how many months that was when we
take
think about
time
it.
for granted, and then my thing is we
Especially
take our
with the
young
young.
children for granted.
We
We
think
think
they're going
that
to be around forever.
you think we have time to be mad at somebody, and the thing, truth is, we really don't. We don't know today. We don't know tomorrow.
But nobody really,
Nobody's going to know what he's going through unless you're at least talking to him. I don't even think. What's also sad for me, I think Cody probably did not even see this coming from miles away.
Nobody saw this coming. If anybody
You know-
had seen this coming, it
would be the
It would have
roommates.
been different.
It would have been the
But not
roommates,
only
and it would have
that-
been Garrison, because they would have been seeing what's going on with him
You
daily.
mean Gabriel?
Gabriel.
I think that if anyone had seen it,
Well,
they would have
Janelle.
probably driven him like to a mental, like to a clinic.
You
to
have a
to
feeling, but
place,
you
to
never
a
think it's
rehab
going to be
center.
that
Exactly.
bad. I always say that. I think, whenever kids are going through something and the parent like has a little, they have an inclination about it, or if the child has talked about it, always, whatever your child has told you, right, just assume that it's 5 times worse than what they're actually telling you. That's what I say. Just as a child, because I know for me, I'm like, I've always been very open with my mom, but like it was never like in the beginning I would tell her, "Oh, this is what's going on with me." It was after
But
I had
I
gone
am
through
very
it.
into, like I'm very nosy, and
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of
sometimes
times-
I really push.
Yeah, you
a
really.
lot. I really try to get to, and sometimes you guys don't like that.
Oh
feeling.
yeah, we hate it sometimes. You know what I'm
I
saying?
really hated.
But even
I
sometimes
really
you'll tell
push
me what I'm
sometimes.
going through before I can go tell you. Like I can see it all over your face.
Yeah,
I knew you were doing this,
yeah.
this, and this,
I
but I want you to tell
I
me.
can see it. I really can see it because I guess I'm also like an empath, so I can kind of see it before it's coming, and I can see it as it's going on, and I sit back for a while and see. But when it gets, when I sense it, I guess it's overwhelming sense. Like okay, this is when I have to intervene.
Yeah.
And then I'll intervene. For
Yeah.
someone who has kind of gone through, a child thinking about, unaliving themselves, as a nurse, you know that you have to, those are those questions that you have to ask your child. And I know it's a very uncomfortable, like how do you ask those questions?
Well, some people don't even
to
know
a
what questions
child?
to ask.
Like, well, how do you ask a question like that to a child, right? For me, I thought about it, and I thought to myself, I wonder, and also because I've had thoughts of that before in the past. And so I had to ask that question. It's very scary to ask a child, do you think about this? It's so scary to ask. It's like, you don't want to think that they're having, that it's that bad.
Yeah,
You
no.
really don't.
You rather have your
But
blinders
I
on.
think because of my nursing background, that's what really helped me.
Yeah.
To just straight up ask that question. And then when the child says yes, it's like, whoa. But then you gotta be calm. You gotta be like, oh, really? And then you gotta ask, well, what's your plan? How are you thinking about doing it? And I had to ask that question. And then for the child to come tell me how they planned on doing it was like, even now when I talk about it, my hairs are rising.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
you have to ask that question because you need to
what?
know if it's something that they have seriously been plotting and considering.
Yes,
Because if they
and
have
then
the
when
whole
you,
plan,
they
then
got
you
a
know.
whole plan, and it's like, oh, do you have the stuff you're going to use? Well, I do. Now you're like,
DEFCON
okay,
10 or whatever.
now
I don't know
it's
what that means,
time. We gotta contact.
though. Yeah.
We gotta
Gotta
contact
get some help.
some help that's gonna get here, and that's what I did. That so you just have to do that because,
Yeah.
and it's very uncomfortable to do. It's very uncomfortable to do, but we gotta get comfortable as parents or as friends who
Yeah.
have friends who are thinking about that. You gotta be asking these questions, and then I gotta get help, because someone who knows what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what they're going to use, they are ready. They are ready. You turn around, it's gonna be something else. So that's just my own, as someone who has gone through something like that, and it's heartbreaking. So,
But do we think the show should end?
oh,
I
that's
know
gonna be
Garrison-
next. We're gonna talk about that next.
Yeah.
At another.
But yeah, I think Garrison, that text, he just was reminiscing on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a good thing that they did have those good times. But at least he can look back on it. But I think it's harder for him because
Yeah.
he had the good and he had the bad. It's not like
And
truly.
he said that he wants
I mean, it
to
might be
hate you,
different
but
too.
he
I don't know. I
can't
can't speak
because
for her.
he loved that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So TLC did do a grace for them, but it can be hard to look back on, especially when it's not reminiscing. Like me,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what did we miss? Like, how
But
did y'all break up, right? Because you saw what you saw, and then how did y'all break up? Sorry, you guys. Sorry.
But yeah, y'all, we will see you guys on the next video.